What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to the channel. One upcoming tower defense game that I've been tracking throughout its development, and I am super excited about, is Frankenstorm TD. This game is so fun and so addicting. It is a roguelite tower defense game. In its various demos and playtests that have been available, it's been just a pure survival experience. And there is another one going right now for the holidays. This is a limited time demo, so you're going to want to jump in and check it out right now on Steam. It doesn't cost anything, so you're out nothing, and you're going to get several hours of enjoyment. Now, as you see here, there will be a full campaign when the game launches. However, right now, it's just that survival experience. There's 3 maps available, and there's some example maps of a beginner, intermediate, and then a more advanced setup as you progress through. Now, out of these 3 maps available, each one has its own little kind of environmental mechanic, and I am going to jump into this underwater layer as it's just my favorite map. So let's pop in and check it out. So when you start a run, you are going to have a setup of some wires and towers available. Now, as I mentioned, this is a roguelite game, so you're going to be getting new choices each wave, and you can take what is going on with the current setup and use it, or, of course, you can change it up to your liking. So I'm going to go ahead and pick everything up, and I'm going to build this one up myself from the ground up. And the basic rule is the enemies are going to come out of a spawn. They're going to have to get to switch number 1, switch number 2, switch number 3 in order, and then exit and take out the doctor over here. Now, with that in mind, we want to set up our little mazing or kill box in a way that enemies are going to have to run through it multiple times. So knowing that enemies are going to have to go to switch number 1 first, I kind of want to build it out around this, and I'll leave switch number 1 and 3 in the same basic grouping, and then switch number 2 and the exit in another grouping. So when this map is fully decked out, assuming we make it that far, of course, enemies will have to go through the entire maze to switch number 1, then they'll have to go back through it again to get out to switch number 2, then go in all the way again to get to switch number 3, and then back out again to get out of the map itself. Now, it is auto death. The maps do take a while to run. However, you can save your progress, so you can always leave and come back to it later if you choose to. I am going to go ahead and kind of cordon off that switch 1 and 3 right here from the start. And we will start building it out. Actually, let's just start building it out something like this, just so we can get some more wires and some more towers and kind of expand out on our kill box from there. So let's just do something like that to get things started. We'll throw some of these basic towers down. Now, I'm not going to edit this video down, so this is going to be a super long video, y'all. Not ideal for everyone, I realize, but I will put timestamps and chapters down below, so you will be able to jump through to various points of progression through this playthrough. As I mentioned, I'm super excited about this game. I can't encourage everyone enough to check it out. The devs are awesome. The game is wildly addicting. The soundtrack is banging. There's just not really a whole lot of negatives that you could say about this one. So it is a game that everyone should have on their wish list, no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and get wave number 1 started. Here come the baddies. You see we got a little Christmas theme going here. For this playtest, they got some little Christmas hats. They actually mentioned in Discord if you see a golden Christmas hat to send them a screenshot, and there will be a little reward. So hopefully we find us a golden Christmas hat here. Okay, so now we get our wave choices. We got a chilling tower, the icy tower for some crowd control. We've got more wires and then more cannons. Now, every choice you take is going to come with positive and negative side effects. We see if we took the icy tower, for example, it's going to add 4% critical hit multiplier. This is the critical hit damage. It's going to add cooldown rate, making our defenses shoot a little bit faster. And then the negative is going to be giving enemies a evade chance. Currently, it's at 0, so it would give them a 1% chance to evade. I think for this one, You know what? Let's go ahead and just take the wires. Let's take the wires. That way we're able to expand this out a little bit more. As soon as I get a few more wires, then I'll start trying to kind of put together the basics of what the maze is going to be. Now, I mentioned every map has a environmental element to it. If we look at this map, we see the water currents, as this is the underwater map. How the water currents work is when the enemy is going upstream, they're going to get a slow. When the enemy is going downstream, they're going to get a speed boost. So something to keep an eye out for there. And, you know, I think we can go ahead and start building this out to a little bit more permanent state. So let's go ahead and yoink all of this stuff back up. And let's go ahead and expand this all the way out to, say, like right here. And then we'll start coming back over. I really wanted to get that the number 3 switch up a little closer to the 1, but I think this is going to work out well for me for right now. We'll go ahead and expand this over a little bit as well, just in preparation for what's to come. And once again, we're just trying to create, or what I'm trying to create is a long maze where enemies are going to have to be going back and forth, where they're getting a benefit and they're getting a deficit when fighting the current with their movement speed. So let's go ahead and go with something like that. We'll throw these 5 towers back down and let it fly once again. Now, as we build this out a little bit more, we're going to get a little bit more robust of a little kill box going, and that's going to allow us to really put the hurt on these baddies. Now, basic towers, of course, are the least powerful tower in the game, but they also come with no side effects. So no side effects is a very good thing. So let's go ahead and take that, and that will allow us to pick up just 2 more basic towers. Let's just go something like that for right now, and we'll let it fly once again. Now, I'm going to need a whole lot more wires to really build this thing out the way I want to. So we are going to have to see exactly how this is going to work out. All right, we got an acid tower. A rapid fire tower. The acid tower gets a acid burn. It gives them negative 20% damage resistance and deals 6 damage per second for 4 seconds, but it gives them 4% increased move speed. Additionally, I'm going to get that 5% crit multiplier and a 2% critical hit chance. I think that one's kind of a no-brainer. For this particular setup, since we don't have the wires set up, I think for right now I want to put that right there. This is something we're going to want really close to the entrance of our kill box, or our little stretch of towers that are doing the bulk of the damage. That way we get that damage debuff going on them as enemies make it in through the rest of the kill box. Okay, we got 11 more wires there. Let's go ahead and take that. And how do I want to do this? I kind of feel like, man, I really want to get this 3 in the mix here. Not sure how. I almost feel like I want to rebuild and come down around this 3 and then kind of work my way around. Let's go one more wave and see if we get some more wires, and that will allow us to maybe do something here. These switches will be in random places every time you start the map, so you do get a true unique experience each time. It will be a slightly different setup each time you do it. Okay, we got 2 more basic towers and 9 wires. Let's grab the 9 wires. Let's get a better look at what we want to do here. So like I said, I want most of the lanes going left and right, so to speak, instead of up and down, as I want to take advantage of those currents. But at the same time, I do really want to get something going with this number 3 switch. So I'm thinking, what if I did something like this? And then we could just expand this one down. Actually, we can bring that over one more. Something like that, and then we'll take advantage of the left and right movements. Oh, we got a shark right here. Throughout the remainder of it. Now let's see. For this one, I think we put our acid sprayer right there. We can get a few more wires down. You know what? I think I'm actually having a little bit of mixed emotions now. I think I want to maybe go up and down a few more times over here to take advantage of this space, and then maybe start filling in over here a little. Of course, we're gonna have to see what kind of defense loadouts we get here. We get a pretty nice bit of AoE range here. We've got a nice area of effect. Let's just do that for the moment, and then let's just do that. Of course, we have the ability to change this on the fly as often as we want, each individual wave. So that's quite nice, as well as, you know, depending on which defenses you get handed, you might want to change up your kill box a little bit. Okay, now we got a huge opportunity here. The Piranha Cannon is one of my favorites, but this one comes with a big deficit, and that is there's a 40% chance for the regular enemies to spawn as bomb bots. Now, this is my first playthrough on this particular demo, but bomb bots were quite brutal in the past. I think what I'm going to do is go with the wires, and then, you know, in turn, I can change this up. So let's just go ahead and throw that there, and let's yoink all these wires. And then, let's see, how do we want to do this? Well, if we kept going over, is that how we want to do it? I'm not sure we're going to have enough path to go. Let's see, if we went up, back up, we won't have enough to do that. So I'm thinking I should maybe extend these down further. I think that is probably the play. Let me just go ahead and grab everything again. I keep changing my mind here on what I want to do with it. Let's go ahead and we'll take advantage of this whole section of the map going up and down. And then we'll do... I want to leave plenty of space down here, though. That way there's no issue with the enemies being able to get through. We'll do something like this. Oops. That gives us a little bit more space there. Actually, we can keep going over. And we can go up one more as well. I want to make sure I'm not pinching them off anywhere along here, though. All right, and we're out of wires now. So let's see. I think we can maximize the coverage of these guys. Now we've got we're not taking advantage of the current or the environmental element, which we will be once we get over into this area. However, oh, you know what? I'm going to have to go raise this up one more. Wherever I end out on this side, there's going to need to be enough room for one of these bottom wires to come over and around. That way I can still cordon off the two and the exit. So let's just go ahead and fix that right now, as I know I'm going to want to fix that eventually. We'll put this here, and let's just give them one more tile here, I believe. Let's see, yeah, and that gives us that one tile of space, which is what we're going to be looking for. And I'm thinking we'll do it right. I mean, we've got one more lane over here, but I think we'll just do it right here, especially considering this is my first time playing through on this demo, so I don't know what's changed. I don't want to get beat down too quickly. So trying to keep an eye out for that golden Santa hat, too. Hopefully I don't... go off into La La Land and start forgetting that. Okay, now there's a lot of new choices here, like this bombardment. Plus 1% critical hit multiplier. This is 0.2% multiplied by the wave number. Gives them 5% stun resistance. The Piranha Cannon is just cool. What is this side effect? 5% debuff avoidance chance. Let's stay away from that right now. Let's go with this Piranha Cannon. Let's just pop it in, say, like, right here. The Piranha Cannon is going to put little piranhas on them. That are, it's quite funny. Enemies can have multiples on them. And it will actually show the little piranhas on there. Quite entertaining, the piranhas. And it does stack up. So there can get to a point where there's just a bazillion piranhas getting on them. It's just absolutely hilarious. Okay, here we've got Enhancer, which is not a new tower, but it is a critical hit chance multiplier, a damage multiplier, and then it increases their max life. But 7% damage, 2% increased crit hit chance is well worth paying for 4% more max life. So we're going to go ahead and take that one. Let's let it fly here for wave number 10. All right, looking pretty good. What do we have here? Muddy Ground. Minus 5% movement speed, minus 2% reward option chance. So this one actually doesn't seem that bad. I mean, keeping their movement speed down is definitely a good thing, but we also have this another enhancer, which is even more critical hit, or this is crit hit damage, plus cooldown, and then for 4% health. I still think that's a good swap with the damage increase, though. So let's go ahead and take that one, and we will continue to let it fly here. Kind of a nice little addition, the little Santa hats they put in there.
Still 2 more of those switches. I can do this all.
All right, another Piranha Cannon or 22 wires. You know, I want to get this set up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and just take the wires and let's expand out a little bit. Now, the reason I want this one to come down is I want to be able to come over and block off this number 2. That way enemies are going to have to go entirely through the gauntlet over again before they can get to that second switch. So I will have tons of enemies hitting switch 1. Ideally, they don't make it to switch 2 and switch 3, though. Very nice. There's lots of new boons here. Like this one, puncturing rounds, I don't remember from before. 5% less damage and an 8% critical hit multiplier. The sniper cannon brings in some doggos, and the doggos are kind of rough, or they were in the previous 2 demos. This one's just +1 enemies. I don't like the negative damage. And a little CC is always nice. Now here we're going to give him a little bit more max health, but we're also going to increase our cooldown rate. And we're going to get the benefit of having some crowd control in there. So let's just go ahead and slap it down. Let's just drop it like, say, right there. We'll be moving these around as we fill the kill box out a little bit more. I want to just find the spot on our final kill box where we're optimizing the amount of time the enemies are spending with range of the towers. And then, of course, you don't have to stack everything up into one killing zone either. You can always set it up so that there's more even defense spread around. Wow, 9% critical hit chance. That's huge. But lose 12% range, lose effect radius, 5% trigger chance. That's going to be for anything that's a proc chance. Here we got the plague. 2% evasion. Let's go ahead and take this plague tower. Get that down. That's going to be a dot effect, so we're going to want that on up front as well. And get those dots ticking as they go through. Right, we got 9 more wires. I feel like I got to take the wires just because I want to continue to expand out on what I've got going on here.
Leave me to my work.
I just can't really say enough positive things about this game. You know, the game itself, like I mentioned, is just crazy addicting. But then additionally, the dev team. This is an indie dev team, of course. They're quite awesome with responding to the community that's interested in the game and making changes based off of feedback. All right, so we got some good choices here. We can take a big hit to our cooldown rate, but we can drop enemy movement speed into the negative, which is huge. Haymaker would lower their stun resistance. Currently, I don't have any stun going on. -3 enemies per wave, but we give them 6% damage resistance. Man, I don't like this cooldown rate being lowered, but I feel like that movement speed is going to be quite huge. So let's go ahead and take Snow Day here.
Here comes another angry mob.
Get these enemies creeping just a little bit. That way they're just not zooming quite as fast through the map. Of course, different enemies do have different traits. So there will be speedy enemies, there will be slower enemies.
Tis but a drop in an ocean of switches.
Looks like we're still clearing real well here, though.
Another wave down.
Fear. That's another new one. 5% movement speed, but -5% damage resistance. Or we've got another Plague Tower. Let's just go with the wires again and try to continue to build this out. Let's see, that's going to be too far. I need to make sure I leave the enemies plenty of room to get out and about. So I think I'll want to come like up something like this and all the way up, and then come up from this lane and up, and then build a large kill box around in that area. Try to take advantage of as much real estate as we can. Now, of course, you've got the constant dilemma of, do you build out your kill box or to make a bigger maze, or do you have more power like in one area? So, different choices. I think there's going to be different levels of effectiveness depending on what map you're doing and just where your switch layout is. Man, I'm seeing a lot of new boons. This Burning Spirit, I don't remember either. This one is -3% damage resistance, but it gives them +5% of a regen rate. We got another Piranha Cannon, which is never a bad thing, and then 26 more wires. Wow. Well, we can really stretch this bad boy out. Let's go with the 26. And then, like I said, I need to give them plenty of room over here. So I don't want to snub any of the lanes off at all. But I do want to get a nice big area. In fact, I could probably just call it good right there. Because whether or not I get enough wires to fill all this in is going to be a whole nother topic of conversation here. I think it's time to move that Piranha Cannon over too. Maybe if I get another one, I'll definitely move that over.
You're gonna need a bigger pitchfork than that.
Yeah, see, now there's a few more starting to push through. They're still getting wrecked.
In your
All right, the Sniper Tower. And that muddy ground sounds so enticing. See, the high vis tracking, I don't want to lower my cooldown rate anymore, but that's the one I kind of want to take the most. And then the Sniper Tower. The Sniper Tower's got that small chance to hit like an absolute truck. It's going to give him 4% overall damage resistance, though. Big oofs there. You know what? Let's take this muddy ground and let's slow him down a little bit more even. I'm still going to get a little bit more damage and a little bit more crit damage out of that deal as well. Let's see. Now, where did we want to do this area? I'm getting real close to snubbing him off here. And that is definitely not what I want to do. Nope, that is going to snub him there. Let's just do it here. We'll bring it over, and then we'll bring this one up as well to create the other side. And that will put the entrance way back over here. And I think that's going to be good. Then we can focus. I mean, we need a bazillion more wires to fill all this in. But then additionally, we can focus on getting our towers moved around and placed a little bit better. Like we're losing out a little on this dot damage from the Piranha and the Plague Tower by having the enemies run all this way. Oh, is that the golden one? Well, there it is, y'all. There is, let me screenshot that bad boy.
No way!
We have been screenshot. I think that is the golden one. Very nice. All right, so we got what? Lucky. We got revving up. And then we got a spike trap. You know what? Let's just add a spike trap in the mix. Why not? Let's get one of those in. I feel like I want to move this Piranha too. Let's put it over here. That way it's getting that dot applied a little quicker. You know, I could put it right here and start dotting them as soon as they come out. But then once they pass that range... Mixed emotions. Let's do it. Let's try it out right here. See how it goes. See how many of them we actually get dotted. Doesn't seem like we got too many fish out there. There's one Piranha biting away on that little dude. This is such an awesome thing.
Go away!
All right, yeah, they pushed through the gauntlet here. They're going to die. All right, we got that cooldown rate, the negative damage. Puncturing rounds gives us negative damage, but a crit multiplier. And then a landmine. You know what? Let's try... actually, I don't recall either of these two boons being in here. Let's go ahead and take the puncturing rounds. We're going to get more brutes in the mix. There's going to be a 20% chance for any regular mob to spawn as a brute here. Well, let's go ahead and give that one a whirl.
Come at me, you cotton-headed mini-muggins!
I need like another 10,000 wires here real quick to fill all this in, and then I'll be in good shape. If the wires only happen. Looking pretty good here. Very nice. All right, there's 30 more wires. There's also a Piranha cannon, though. Another one. Oh, man. I feel like I've done stretched myself out. I really need to take the wires here. So let's just go with that. We get no negative, which is nice. Let's see. How do we want to build this up? Is that too high? I think that's good, actually. Oops. Yoink those back out. All right, let's do that. We'll start taking advantage of the current here and
Desecrated corpse and
the horizontal pathing here. Of course, we got no defenses up there. Some defenses up here would be quite nice. Oh, wow. There's double golds. Crazy. A 2-in-1.
bits of my equipment.
These brutes are really slow moving, but they are quite tanky. So you get the benefit is they move super slow, and the negative is they've got a lot of health. Oh wow, 22% damage, but that is so steep with the cooldown rate. And then this also brings some hounds in. Now, just for science, hounds have been the bane of my existence in every playtest this game has had. We're going to take this one just to see how brutal the hounds are. So let's do it. Hopefully this doesn't end up in too much of a facepalm. Here comes hound number 1. Now, the downside with the hounds is they just scream. These guys run so fast. Now, we only got 1 hound that wave, so yeah, piece of cake. They're not super hard to kill, but boy, they will just scream through your kill boxes, particularly after you get that speed multiplier added up just a little bit. There's another one of those gold ones. Crazy, crazy.
I could do this
All
all
right, a
day.
base trap. Get a little stun going in our kill box. You know, we can't go wrong with some stun. Now, one of the nice thing with these traps is you see the area of effect. It's actually going to cover 3 lanes in this situation. So if there's enemies, like I say, an enemy triggers the base trap right here. If there's enemies over here, it's going to stun them there as well. So let's actually put it right here so it's on top of that spike trap. And maybe we can get, if we're lucky, we'll get an extra trigger off the spike trap maybe. All right, we got a whole string of doggos this time. They are beasting it out. They actually seem like maybe, you know, it's too early to tell. But it almost seems like the dogs may have been toned down a little bit, which, to be honest, is probably a pretty welcome change, in my opinion. The dogs were quite brutal. And then here we go with our tanky boys bringing up the rear, of course. Super slow moving. Yet a whole lot of health to burn through. Let's see, are they going to make the round of traps? No, they are not. All right, we got another good one here. Potency. Side effects. This one's new. Critical hit chance. Debuff strength. Trigger chance. Target range. And 9% movement speed. You know what? Let's go with the wires just so we can fill in a little bit more here. Let's see, we'd want this one coming off so we can take that wire back. We want this one coming off like this. And then we'll have some dead space here. Actually, it'll be a perfect spot for another piranha cannon. Let's start working them back that way here. I need to get some more towers or get these spread out. At a minimum, I need to put this piranha cannon in a better spot, I believe. I think now we've got a prime opportunity to move it up here. The old base trap does wonders, and yeah, the doggos making it through. Is that going to be the first thing out? Oh, there's the first thing to go and hit switch number 2, I believe. I don't think I've had anything make it to switch 2 yet. The doggos are some speedsters. They are not to be taken lightly, that is for sure. They're rushing back through to 3. Now, they'll still have to go all the way back through the kill box again to get back out, which is just crazy. All right, let's see. We got this rapid fire tower. Sharpshooters, 20% range. Let's take sharpshooter and get that additional range, and then I'm going to move this to here, and I think we'll get a lot more dots applied. And you see they are going to stack up, so you can get a ton of these little piranhas biting away. And then, yeah, now the piranha is getting constant, pretty much constant action, which is quite nice.
I figured out the switches.
Poor doggo. Here's another gold hat. I'm seeing them like crazy here. All right, we got lucky. You know what? Let's just take the cooldown rate because we've gotten into the negatives a little with our cooldown rate here. I definitely don't want to keep on that path. So let's get our cooldown rate flowing a little bit better. Here's another double. Nice little added touch they added in for this playtest. A little holiday theme there. This is going to be a nice stun. Oh, it just missed him. These guys are some tanks, man. They are some tanks. All right, what do we got? Corpse explosion. Permanently applies corpse bomb, which causes the target to explode on death. That seems kind of fun. We got another plague tower, which is another dot. You know what? I feel like we go with the dot. And we just gave him a little bit more damage resistance again, too. Let's dot him up here to give the dot time to tick. So we got, you know, another piranha cannon. We get as many dots as possible going up here. We'll be in great shape. Keep those dots being applied throughout here.
Touch those.
Right, revving up, we can get some of our cooldown rate back. We get a damage negative. Let's just take the spike trap. Let's get one more spike trap in. We'll throw it right there and let them fly here. Here's yet another double. Or is that a triple? No, that's a double. Double golden Santa hat for the win. Those spike traps are super powerful. I feel like they've been really good throughout all of the playtests. It's definitely like line and lanes with those seems like such a good thing. All right, we got another snow day. We got burning spirit. That's negative damage resistance. Increases their regen rate. You know what? Let's take the wires. All right, I like it. I like it. We're going to have to do a little something here. Move it down one or something. That way the lanes don't get too tore up here.
Figured out the switches. Two switches down. What about the other one?
That dog is not going to make it. I think we're going to be in good shape. Yep, doggo down. And then these brutes are getting beat up quite nicely as well. All right, now we get a chance for a little cannon tower for a little stun, where we don't have any stun in the kill box yet. The spike trap would be quite nice too. Man, mixed emotions. Let's go with the cannon tower. It's got real nice range too, so let's put it like right here. That way it can at least hit pretty much everything in this area. Now we are at the 40-minute mark now, and I do want to get this video out on Christmas Day. It is Christmas morning right now. So the only way that's going to happen is if I go ahead and save this one, and then I can do another video of where I make it to and where it finishes out at. There is the triple Santa, golden Santa hat. Very, very nice. After this wave, I think I'm going to go ahead and save it right here. However, this is Frankenstorm TD. This is a limited playtest, y'all, so get in and check it out. It doesn't cost anything. It's without a doubt going to entertain you. If you like tower defense, you're going to like this one. As you see, the maps do take a while to run. However, you can save them and come back to it later. So it's not the end of the world. If you run out of time and you have to go. But I am running out of time in this video. This is the first 40-minute video I've put on my YouTube channel in years. So thank you all so much for watching it. But thanks a ton. Links are down in the description below. Go check Frankenstorm TD out. Without a doubt, good stuff should be on your radar for what's coming in the future. But thank you all once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.